This is the American Standard Champion 4 one-piece toilet, the elongated model in clean white, and today I want to share my honest quick review based on over 2 years of using it in my guest bathroom. If you're looking for a new toilet, you might wonder whether all those champion claims are real or just marketing talk. I had those questions too. Toilets aren't exactly the most exciting thing to shop for, but after plenty of frustration with old models that clogged at the worst times, I started to understand why people care so much about stuff like flush power, cleaning ease, height, and overall comfort. The Champion 4 doesn't look like your typical toilet. The one-piece design basically means there's no separate tank and bowl. It's one solid shape, which ends up looking much sleeker. The lines are smooth, almost modern, and because of how it's built, there are very few places for dust or water spots to hide. For anyone curious about cleaning, this is a big deal. From my experience, I just wipe down the surface and I'm done. No grime creeping into hard-to-reach seams. The ever-clean surface, what American Standard calls their special finish, does seem to help keep things cleaner longer. I know EverClean sounds kind of gimmicky, but in my daily cleaning routine, I honestly noticed less buildup and never any lingering odor. One of my worries at first was the height. The Champion 4 is described as chair height, which is around 16.5 inches from the floor to the rim. That's taller than some older toilets, and at 5'5", I wondered if my legs would dangle or if kids in the family might struggle. Over time, I've realized the chair height actually makes standing and sitting much easier, especially for anyone older or with knee trouble. My husband is 6'1", and he thinks it's comfortable too. Even my dad, who sometimes has trouble with low seating, finds it much easier to use than the old short bowl we had. For families with really young kids, you might want to grab a stepping stool, but from my experience, most adults find the extra height helpful. Let's talk about the seat, since I know folks care about comfort in every little detail. The included seat is plastic, and while it has a soft close feature, which means it shuts slowly and doesn't slam, it's not the thickest or most luxurious seat you'll find. The soft close does work, so there's no waking anyone up in the middle of the night with a loud lid, and I definitely appreciate that. I will say, after using it for over 2 years, I ended up swapping the original seat out for a slightly cushier model, just for a little more comfort. That's pretty common, I think, because most included seats are pretty basic. Now, getting into what most people focus on, performance. The Champion 4 flushes with 1.6 gallons of water, which is standard for a toilet in the US that isn't ultra-low flow. What really sets it apart, and what convinced me to spend a bit more, is the special flush mechanism. It uses a big 4-inch accelerator flush valve, which is much larger than normal. Most are about 2 inches wide. More water rushes into the bowl super quickly, so you get a powerful, swirling flush that clears everything on the first try. American Standard claims it handles up to 70% more waste per flush than the average toilet, and I believe that. I can probably count on one hand the number of times I've had to use a plunger since installing this, and honestly, it never clogged, even when guests weren't shy about loading it up. If you've ever lived with a toilet that needed frequent plunging or just didn't, get the job done, you know how annoying and embarrassing that can be. For me, the peace of mind with the Champion 4 has been worth it. There's a fully glazed trapway, which explained simply means the inside path for waste is smooth and helps things slide through easier. Fewer jams, less hassle. I haven't had to call a plumber or even think twice about clogs since getting this model. As for installation, I'd call it pretty straightforward, but not tool-free. The one-piece design is heavier than two-piece toilets. It's about 115 pounds, so you probably want a second person on hand to help maneuver it into place. The instructions were clear though, and the parts fit together just as described. Just keep in mind, you'll probably need your own tools and a new water supply line. I wouldn't say easy if you've never installed a toilet before, but if you're a little handy around the house, it took me and my husband about an hour, including removing the old toilet. I think the extra weight is because it's vitreous china, which is sturdy and holds up well even in a busy bathroom. I did notice reviews mentioning that sometimes the tank can develop cracks, or the gasket at the bottom bubbles. I've personally had zero issues with cracking or leaks after 2 years, and from what I can tell, American Standard has addressed some of those manufacturing problems. The company offers a 10-year limited warranty, which is reassuring if anything does go wrong. As for looks, in my opinion, this toilet is one of the better options if you want something modern that doesn't call too much attention to itself. It's crisp and white, with a simple chrome handle and an oval bowl that feels less cramped than round models. The bowl is elongated, which basically just means it's longer in the front and tends to be more comfortable for adults. Everything about it feels solid and like it was designed to be used for years. Now, are there any drawbacks? From my experience, besides the basic plastic seat, you'll need a bit more muscle to install because of the extra weight, and the handle does require a firm push to start the flush. If you have really small kids, or maybe a grandparent with very limited strength, that's something to consider. I also think the height could be a little much for some people, but as I said, most adults seem to really like it after using it for a while. If you value low maintenance and a toilet that just works, those small issues are easy to overlook. In conclusion, the American Standard Champion 4 one-piece toilet checks all my boxes for reliability, cleaning, comfort, and looks. It's perfect for busy bathrooms, homes with kids, or anyone tired of dealing with clogs. From my experience, it saves time cleaning and keeps the bathroom smelling fresh. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants the peace of mind that comes from a strong, dependable toilet with easy upkeep. If you're comfortable doing a bit of installation work yourself or having help, it's a solid investment that should last for years. If you found this quick review helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a comment if you have questions or want to share your own experience with the Champion 4, and thank you for watching.